Imagine walking into your favorite restaurant only to discover that the lettuce they're serving is slimy to the touch. Unfortunately, this is a harsh reality that some diners in York County have faced. The State Department of Agriculture conducts regular inspections of food-serving businesses to ensure public safety and enforce safe food handling practices. But here's where it gets alarming. Some establishments are falling short of these standards, putting customers' health at risk. For instance, schools are inspected twice a year, while other businesses are inspected annually, according to the Bureau of Food Safety and Laboratories. The inspector has the discretion to decide whether an establishment is compliant or non-compliant, but there are certain violations that automatically render a business non-compliant. These critical violations include issues with food temperature, employee hygiene, and chemical handling. And this is the part most people miss. Depending on the severity of the situation, inspectors and their supervisors may file citations or even close the establishment. But what happens when an establishment is found to have multiple critical violations? Let's take a look at the inspection report for the Bollywood Grill, located at 2310 Industrial Highway in York. The report reveals a disturbing number of violations, including a cut head of iceberg lettuce that was slimy to the touch, wiping cloths that were extremely unclean, and non-food contact surfaces that were not cleaned frequently enough. But that's not all. The hand sink bowl was dry and stained, and employees were not washing their hands before preparing food. The industrial can opener, microwave, and other equipment were also found to have food residue and were not clean to sight and touch. Raw shell eggs were stored over ready-to-eat foods, and cooked chicken, tofu, and sauces were stored open with no covering. The walk-in cooler was also found to have par-cooked chicken, sauces, and vegetables stored uncovered and directly on the floor, rather than 6 inches off the floor as required. Food ingredient storage containers were not labeled, and the paper towel dispenser was empty at the hand wash sink. The hand wash sink itself was blocked by bar stools and not accessible at all times for employee use. Perhaps most concerning, commercially processed refrigerated foods were not marked with the date they were opened, and refrigerated ready-to-eat foods were not date-marked. The screened door in the kitchen area even had a gap, allowing insects, rodents, and other animals to enter. So what can be done to prevent these kinds of violations? Some argue that more frequent inspections are needed, while others believe that establishments should be given more guidance on how to improve their food handling practices. But here's the question. Do you think the current inspection system is sufficient to ensure public safety, or are there changes that need to be made? Should establishments be given more leeway when it comes to minor violations, or should they be held to a higher standard? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you're concerned about the safety of your favorite restaurant, consider subscribing to our newsletter to stay up to date on the latest news and inspection reports. By supporting local journalism, you can help ensure that establishments are held accountable for their food handling practices and that the public is informed about potential health risks.